My name is Chris Dale, EW Seaman SW. The podcast lamp is lighted on the 04 level aft.
Hey everybody, this is Jay Becker.
And I'm Jonathan Lunsford.
And welcome to the 04 Level App podcast, where we talk about everything and anything.
Yep. Just like we would have on the 04 Level Aft.
Yes, because that's where we met. John and I, we were sailors on the USS Lake Champlain.
Yes, a long time ago. Yeah. From 99 to 03 is when I was there. And I think that was your same time frame. You're just a little earlier than me. Yep. We did 4.5 years together, and it has been 22 years since we've seen each other. But
Lord.
But now we're looking at each other on the interwebs.
The interwebs.
And so what we do is we have a podcast. I have a podcast or two or three. Jay has a podcast. And then he reached out to me about us doing one. And then, of course, you guys have all heard this, but I'll say it again about us doing one together. And then it just one thing led to another. And then it turned into us rekindling friendships with old Navy buddies. And it's called 04 Level Aft because that's where we smoked on the USS Lake Champlain and had these silly
We're not condoning any cigarette smoking either.
No. But that is where we had these silly conversations like this show is all about. Yeah. So the reason that we're doing this episode, which is a short one, is we kind of have morphed into the live world. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and Rumble live.
Which I like it.
It's interesting. It saves a lot of editing time.
Oh, I bet.
I promise you. The last episode we did was with Chris Dale on this.
Oh wow, that was a while. Well, I mean, I gotta give it to you because honestly, everyone Jonathan does is the brain of the operation. If there was needed to be brawn of this operation, it'd be me. But there's not heavy lifting that needs to be involved here. But John does all the editing.
You're the face.
John does all the editing, and he's very good at it. And I'm really glad that he doesn't have to do a lot when we do the lives because it's a lot of work.
So the thing is, like Chris Dale with the episode we did with him was fabulous. It was so much fun. Me and him has been friends forever. Met on the ship, and we've been talking a lot since.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have podcasting equipment. Most of these people we're talking to does not have podcasting equipment.
Right.
And there was a lag with him that was so egregious. And I was able to edit most of that out. It took a long time sitting there just chopping, the lags out. And there were certain parts of conversations that I just completely cut out.
Yep.
If the lag was bad and it didn't really fit, and I was able to cut it out. So I cut like maybe 10 minutes out of that show. And so with the live, we just go on. And if you happen to catch it live, you can. But with YouTube and Facebook, it's still there.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, we're on Rumble, but I don't know if anybody even watches Rumble. But I created it, so we use it. So what's great about the live format is that anything can go. Anything can happen.
In real time is always fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and you don't know what's going to get said. And then what's even cooler is that the audience chimes in. People who are watching starts talking and starts talking smack. Like it's just like it would have been. There's like who is this? I don't even know who that guy is tonight that we did. Derek
Smith, he has a buddy of mine.
Oh, okay. So he went on the ship. But I mean he chimed in like do I know this guy? And he was just talking smack. Brian Dahlheimer, when he gets on, woo, like here we go. And
I missed him tonight, man.
Yeah,
he's probably mad at me. I gotta call him.
And Chief Ragsdale normally hops on, but it's life, and that's the way it is. So I want to say this: there are going to be times I don't want you guys to do away with this part of it. Hold on to it, because we are going to do episodes that require. We don't want audience participation in. It will just be me and Jay and whoever the guest is.
Yeah.
There's going to be interviews that are so like strict and difficult, not strict, but like PTSD. When we get into those, we don't need to be like dealing with audience participation and some of that stuff. And sometimes what they'll say is amazing, but kind of want to just leave it.
We kind of, we kind of.
This isn't going away, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, we kind of want to do the serious episodes on a podcast platform, and just do the other lives, just like goofing around. And
Just like what we would have done.
Yeah, the serious stuff we are going to keep here on the podcast, and we do plan on just doing a few serious podcasts here in the near future.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I got a guy that's working through some stuff, and he's trying to decide if he wants to hop on or not.
Right.
And even like with Chris Dell really had to step outside of his comfort zone. Mm-hmm. He went through a lot of stuff, and so I was really proud of him for doing that. I was really excited. He said even going back and listening to it, he couldn't finish it because it was like bringing up so many which is so weird because like he had such a negative view of his time in the military, and I had such a positive view of my time in the military. And so my brain automatically assumes that everybody had a good time in the military, but they didn't, and I watching it and thinking back, this has brought up so many memories, us sitting around talking. And I remember him going through all that and how hard it was. And so we want to be respectful of those people. And if we're doing an interview with somebody, we'll say, hey, can we go live? You want us to record it? That way we can edit it, whatever. Mm-hmm. And we might do those live. I don't know. So, but yeah, they're fun, especially when there's no, nonsense.
Right.
And there's no topic. We just start talking. You don't know where it's going on.
I mean, topics fly from here to there and everywhere.
Yeah, like they would have on the smoke deck.
But you know what I like about the serious podcasts that we did, like the Chris Dales and the Brian Dahlheimers and the Norm Noreds and the Pat Horans and everything like that we've done already, is that at times, like you were saying, sometimes it brings up those memories, and it actually helps people. It helps people heal.
Yeah.
Like Chris Dale, because I never knew that he had an issue. But I always thought of him and remembered him in a positive outlook.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's a great man, great dude.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that he found goodness that came out of that. And that's what we want to do.
Absolutely.
That's what we came here for, is to encourage veterans and stuff like that. So
Jay and I are both faith-based.
Yes.
All of my other podcast adventures are all faith-based, 100%.
Mine as well.
And so this is my play around, and that's why I have the rules about let's try to keep the vulgarity down a little bit and such as that, because we want you guys to be able to have it on in the car with your kids in there. We don't want them to not be able to. Yeah. Let your kids hear these stories about these sailors, and you laugh and be like, yeah, I remember that. Those guys are so stupid. And if we're vulgar, then your kids might miss that shot. Now, I do have it in there that it's explicit, just because of the occasional slip or whatever. I'm not going to tell people not to be themselves, but it is marked explicit just for that purpose. So, and we don't have sponsors, so we're just playing, having fun. But we have a not GoFundMe, a Cash App.
Yes.
And we have shirts that we're working on. We have stickers already. We have hats already.
Yes.
If you go on to the Facebook page, we have no way of selling these yet. We're working on that. But on the 04 Level at Facebook page, we don't have a sales side yet. But we will have shirts available. We will have hats available and stickers. And I will tell you that all of the money that is brought in is just going to be helping us buy better equipment. Does that make sense? And if we run into a bunch of money, we can give it away to somebody who needs it.
Yes, that's our plan. Yeah. When we get all the equipment that we need, and we end up getting a surplus of because we buy all the materials from our own pocket, the money we're going to get back in, we're going to put into this little fund. And once we get everything we need, that fund is going to go to other things.
Yeah. We'll find it. We'll let somebody say.
Yeah, it's some veteran family in need. Wounded Warrior Project. Who knows?
Yep.
If we can
Tunnels,
help
towers, whatever.
Yep.
we'll find a good organization that doesn't waste their money on CEO paychecks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, our percentage of our material that we do sell will be going to that.
So I wanted to talk about something real quick. And we'll try to keep this under 15 minutes, but I don't know if we can. Steve McAvoy he mentioned something to me years ago about the idea of telling Vietnam veterans welcome home, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you know you're talking to a Vietnam veteran when you're leaving, say, thank you for your service, welcome home, right? Because they didn't get that when they came home originally.
Yeah.
So, and it's awkward saying that. It is, for me, it's a little awkward. I've said it a few times and I never really felt right about it. A couple weeks ago, I got a chance, great opportunity, went to Seattle for a ministry conference. It's fantastic. It was so much fun. And I laid over in San Francisco. No. I was in Seattle. I hadn't left yet. And this guy had a command ball cap on, like not an actual command ball cap, like one you'd buy at the exchange.
Of course. Yeah.
And it said USS Hull, Hull. And it was a destroyer from way back. And so, of course, I had to walk up and say, that's hilarious. If you would have been a Hull tech, that would have been even better. So we were standing there talking, Vietnam guy. And his ship, he was on two ships, on a carrier and the destroyer, the USS Hull. And he did like 6 years or so in the Navy and whatever. And we stood there and talked. And it was just great. Just, old sailor, old veteran sailor, middle-aged veteran sailor, and had a good time. And as he's walking away, I said, sir, thank you for your service. And he said, you too. And then he told me, welcome home.
Wow.
And that was like, so not only is it known, but it's something that even they say.
Wow.
So I think we should say it.
I think we should too.
If you know that someone is a Vietnam vet as you're walking away, and you're doing the thank you for your service stuff. Obviously, if somebody you go to church with every Sunday, you might not. But hey, welcome home. Thank you for what you did. And I'm sorry you didn't get that then, so tell them welcome home now.
It's never too late.
Yeah.
It's never too late.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I'm in an army town, so I get to see it a lot. I get to see a lot of the veterans. Yeah. And it's pretty neat. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because that's a really interesting I like that. That's kind of cool.
It is. I'm going to start doing it.
Yep. Welcome
Absolutely.
home. But we didn't talk about it as long as I thought we would. But anyway, so everybody, thank you for, if you are only listeners, which I've been told, but there's a few guys that only listen. In the show notes, if you scroll on down, you'll see the links to the YouTube and the Facebook and whatnot. If you don't have one of those, and you use a different platform for watching and we're not on it, email 04 level. Email will be in the link too. 04 level aft at Gmail. Let me know and we'll work it out. We'll make it happen. So, okay. We had a great time tonight.
We had a great guest on today's live. His name's PJ Zoccolillo. And I said it correctly. Zoccolillo is his name. It's an Italian name. He is Italian and Polish. Very nice man.
Yeah, I had a great time. And he's not even a veteran, so we broke a mold with that one. So
and we're going to have him on again. And,
yes. He got super passionate when we started talking about steaks.
Yes.
So
yes.
And we didn't talk about you getting your hind end whooped in Thailand and kickboxing either.
No, we didn't.
Should have. We'll have to bring it up next time.
Well, there will be a part 2.
Yes, absolutely.
So
love you, Jay.
Love you too, brother.
Love everybody. Thank you all for being a part.
Thanks for the support. Fair winds and foul and seas.
Yep. Goodbye.
Later.
The smoking lamp is out.